it also starts to like elongate your spine, and it kind of creates a different sensation too because your nerves are activated. And then when they're sliding in and out and the hair pulling, that all creates a whole nother lovely sensation. Welcome back. It's your host, Hallismmith, for another episode of Girl Core. We have had too many generations of women experience bad pound town. They are not getting it right. They are not cracking good. And it is your job for your future generations to break the cycle of bad intimacy for women. It has become a standard for women to struggle to owe and to have like bad intimacy in the bedroom. And it is your job as the modern woman, as a woman with the technology. You can watch videos, you can learn online, you can watch my videos, you can learn so much, but it's your job to break the cycle. Sometimes I feel like people think like, oh, she's just performing for men. Like she's always talking about these crazy bedroom poses and new things to try. No, because if you get down to it, usually these poses actually create more sensations for women. Now, yes, I do like to please men. I like men, sue me, but I also like women, and I also am a woman. So of course I want women to benefit more in the bedroom. And most of these poses, although they might look like they're doing a lot of the work for the men, they're actually doing a lot of the work for us, okay? Because as women, we know we are the neck, they are the head. We direct what we want in the bedroom and add to our pleasure. And too many women don't know how to experience doggy the right way. Too many women have gotten to doggy as like kind of like a thing for the guy. You know, okay, I bend over, I hurt my back, and then they just like ding, 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 and I'm just there. And doggy is actually a pose for the people. There's usually not much sensation happening. They're not doing anything special for us besides literally just hips in and out. And that is where the problem is. Because ladies, something really interesting everybody should know is that your cooch likes to be stretched. You want to be spread? Your kitty cat is actually designed for that around your kitty cat, and that is the muscle that opens. And this muscle right here actually wants to be stretched, and it wants to be like, ooh, everything cracked and spread open in all the right ways. See, but the thing is, usually men, they take their little pink water bottle and they just do a little back and forth, in, out, just going straight, okay? They're going back and forth. That's not doing much because, yeah, it's stretching the kitty cat. It depends on the size and the girth and what the man's working with, his cucumber. But the problem is, women, we want everything cracked. It's just like if somebody only massaged your neck. Yes, it feels amazing. Don't get me wrong. Love a neck massage. But you know what's even better? A full body massage from head to toe. Your coochie is wanting to be stretched, and it doesn't just want a neck massage in and out. It wants a full body massage. If you go a little bit upwards with his stroking, if he goes downwards with it, if he curves a little to the right, kind of tilts your hips left, tilts your hips right, your coochie is like one big, think of it like a clock, and it wants to be worked at every single angle with his pink water bottle, okay? It is not just an in and out, it is around this circle. So the more you can stretch and spread your coochie, the more she loves it. Coochies are meant to be stretched and spread. How do you think they birth, okay? They're expandable more so than you would imagine. And especially the more you get turned on, she starts to tighten and she starts to really hug. And then she really starts to, have some fun. So when you learn this, doggy becomes so much better. When you learn that when you're in doggy, there are certain poses you can do to increase the fun. We know doggy, right? We're in that pose, but what can you do to change doggy for a woman? What can make doggy more fun for you? First of all, knees together. Usually we have our legs open, we have them wide, and yes, that's fun too. We'll get into that in a moment, but pushing your legs together, ooh, it creates this hot dog in a bun effect, okay? You are the bun and he is the hot dog. And this one's amazing because when you close your legs in doggy, it creates this snug sensation. It feels so nice and snug, and it's just sliding. But what it does even better is it honestly activates your lips, your coochie, your clitoral, your everything. She's got those lips. Okay, maybe you got more beefy lips than others. Sometimes you got little lips, big lips, all shapes and sizes. Well, when a guy's hitting it from behind in doggy and then does the little legs together and then snugs it, his pink water bottle is now sliding against your lips, and those lips have beautiful nerve endings that create more pleasure. So not only are you now just getting that P in the V action, but now you're also getting some outside pleasure, which is what women really need around the lips and on the bean. Now you're getting that extra pleasure. So pushing your knees together, amazing pose, amazing for him. It makes it feel more snug. It works well. It's comfortable. It's easy. And the next one is legs wide. Okay, you honestly want to widen them legs when you're doing the woof woof doggy, okay? Because it actually is better for going deeper. This lets it like really spread. Okay, you're spreading that kitty cat, but it spreads the kitty cat so you can then easily feel it even deeper and even better when you spread your legs when you're, doing the woof woof doggy. It also is gonna make it hit the G zone so much better. So you're gonna get that fun, and the legs are spread, the G zone's getting more, everything's getting more sensations, and people just think like, oh, I'm just doing this pose because it looks hot for him. I'm putting my knees together because that's what men want. No, it's for you, babe. It looks hot for you, but it also feels better for you. These poses are actually gonna change things. I think people think like, oh no, like I don't need to try new poses. It's just for men. It's just for doing all these crazy visual things that they want. The reason they're different poses is because they feel different. And yes, we do have our basic doggy, missionary, whatever, speed bump. We got all these good ones. And you maybe stick to that same rotation, but you should mix it up because it will mix up how it feels if you do different things. Don't be afraid of it, okay? I know it gets a little bit scary. Speaking of the speed bump, one of my favorites, aka the prone bone. Ladies, when you're doing that, you're gonna lay flat on your stomach and they're gonna come behind you with that little, a little pink water bottle, little cucumber, and they're just gonna on top of you. This one is so nice, ladies, because first of all, you don't have to do shit during the speed bump. Ladies, you just lay there like a whale beached on the sand. You're just flat, hands on the side, and you're just like, oh, this feels great. And then you're just sliding it between the cheeks. Love being on the stomach because not only when it's sliding in between, it's also hitting your lips. And those have so many nerve endings. So it's hitting the lips. And then with the P and the V, your kitty loves that in and out sensation. It loves being stretched. So it's getting some extra pleasure there. The speed bump is so amazing because it also can be really intimate. It can come up and, kind of whisper in your ear a little bit, smoochie on the neck, maybe give you a little ear nibbles, a little love mark on the neck. Maybe they can, give you some chills, whispering in that ear. It really is an intimate pose. It really can intensify it. But if you really want to take the speed bump to the next level and feel it even more intense, ladies, because sometimes that pose, it feels amazing, but it almost gets so juicy down there. It turns into a water park for me. That one always makes me super wet, but it gets so juicy that I kind of lose some of that feeling. So crisscrossing my ankles makes a huge difference. When you're laying on your stomach on the speed bump, they're from behind, crisscross your ankles snugger and tighter, and it feels so good. And it also grips your literal coochie lips around their water bottle. So it's going in and out. It's getting that outside stimulation while also getting the inside, which women, we know we need more outside fun than inside fun to usually reach the finish line. That one is super cute. It feels good. It looks good. You don't have to do much, but something fun too. In this pose, hair pulling. Doing the speed bump, laying on your stomach in wuff wuff doggy is amazing for hair pulling. Now, the secret is, ladies, if you have somebody grabbing your hair and they grab your hair by the ends of your hair, or even the mid length of your hair and try to yank it, they're not doing it right. You tell them, hey, stop, please. I love some hair pulling. Don't get me wrong, love it. But can you just do it tighter? Go straight to the scalp, go to the roots of the head, and then you grab that. Not grabbing at the ends of your head or at the mid lengths of your hair. That is just going to hurt. He needs to grab your hair if he's going to do any hair pulling from the roots. And this is amazing to do in the speed bump because he's so much closer to you. So it's easy to kind of grab it and kind of pull your head back. Now, you're like, babe, why would I want that? Well, it actually feels good. It creates like this elongation. When you're getting your hair pulled in that pose, doggy, it also starts to like elongate your spine, and it kind of creates a different sensation too because your nerves are activated. And then when they're sliding in and out and the hair pulling, that all creates a whole nother lovely sensation, and they can do it at different grip strengths. Okay, let them know. Like, I literally, when a guy wants to pull my hair, or I'll tell a guy like, hey, I love having my hair pulled, I will tell him, like, I'll show him. I'll grab his head and be like, this is usually what I like. And I will literally show and demonstrate on the guy to the level that I can enjoy. Some women have a super sensitive scalp. They cannot handle much hair pulling. It's very gentle. Some have a tough scalp. They can have a good hair pull. So literally communicate and show your partner. I think when it comes to any form of any type of like hair pulling, anything like that, any type of spanking or kind of roughness in the bedroom, it's always nice to show your partner so that way they know they're not going too rough. But hair pulling, amazing, creates another sensation, and it's going to help you arch your spine. So even if you're not in the speed bump, if you're just on all fours and you're on your forearms or you're on your hands, the hair pull is going to elongate your spine, and it's going to feel really good, and it's perfect to do in that pose. Now, when it comes to doing doggy, another thing that's really key is everybody always asks, how do I keep my arch? My arch, okay? Because sometimes you feel like you're running from the D. You know what I mean? Sometimes you've been taking it in doggy, and like somehow they keep pushing you more and more forward, so you're just like sliding forward on the bed, and you're just like, what is happening right now? It's a mess. I've literally had a guy like be like, stop running from me, like grab my hips. because like the bed just kept slipping. So the thing is, what I like to do, ladies, is first you're gonna hunker down. Okay, you're gonna get in that bed. You're gonna like, I put I'll dig my hands into the sheets, literally like gripping the sheets with each hand, or I'll put one hand flat against the headboard if there is a headboard or a wall. I'll put my hands to it because this prevents me from like sliding. I'm not like gripping the wall. I'm not like clawing it. I'm just flat palming it so that I'm not getting pushed like further. I'm gonna hold my ground. Now, if he does have a headboard and you're doing some classic doggy, you can then put your hands up on the headboard. So you're kind of like using that. So you're more lifted. And then you're going to be doing this, or you can put them lower, but this is going to help you stop running from it. But arching it, how do you keep your arch pretty? The best thing, if you're trying to arch it to the gods, when you're doing some doggy, ladies, you want to think of yourself doing the cat-cow pose, but you're going to think of push your tummy towards the bed. Giving myself visuals always helps. And then you're going to lift your head up. When you're in doggy, you do not want to be looking down at the bed. This is just like any yoga pose. This is an awkward position for your neck, and it's not elongating the spine. In any yoga or bedroom pose, you want to elongate your spine. So looking slightly up, looking at the wall, slightly a little bit higher is going to help lift it instead of looking directly down at the bed. And it doesn't have to be much, just like slightly ahead of yourself. Look up, tilt your tummy towards the bed, and then your pelvic, these little hips right here, up towards the sky. But it's going to help when you just focus on this tummy towards the floor and head up. Your then tailbone, your arch is going to naturally just dip nicely and really create a nice smooth arch. And that's actually going to feel so much better because sometimes we're too much arching with our lower back. If you've ever done any yoga, Pilates, you will have a really good idea of how to work each and every muscle in your body and like what parts bend. Lots of us are kind of hunching with our lower back in doggy, not so much really lifting that pelvic and really lifting and elongating the neck. Too much of us are using too much back, pretty much. We're using too much of that back when we're trying to arch it. And honestly, doing yoga, stretching, so key to keeping fun during the bedroom in any pose, especially doggy, because it is such a kind of a bendy pose. You're making like a U, like a macaroni shape. But any type of everyday yoga for men, for women, should be every single day because everybody needs to be a little bit limber, a little bit stretched. You know, men get cramps too. Everybody should work on being a little more stretched out. I think it's really good for everybody and longevity in the bedroom and longevity in life. When you are in the doggy pose, there's a few ways you can have your hands, as I was talking about. You can either have it against the headboard where you're kind of like then on your forearms, or you can do it kind of doing like a push-up where you have your arms up, but your palms are on the bed. There's a few different variations. Even in doggy, try twisting it. I love to kind of sometimes put myself on my forearms like a plank position and kind of twist a little bit to the side. That way I'm turning left or I'm turning right. Because sometimes, ladies in doggy, have you ever had that uncomfortable, like, I don't want to say stabbing, but like it's almost like a cramp when they're hitting it from behind in that pose when you're arching it. Sometimes you get like this weird cramp. It's almost because they are literally hitting your uterus so hard that it creates that sensation like they're in your guts. Like dead ass. Like I know we like to joke about it, but they're in the guts. And so sometimes if you're in doggy and you're getting that little weird ache, I'll kind of twist a little left, twist a little right. Sometimes it just helps so they're not exactly like hitting one of my organs, and sometimes it just creates that discomfort. So don't be afraid of it. It's not a bad sign. If it does persist, like say you're in any pose and you're getting an uncomfortable kind of like cramping sensation, switch poses. Sometimes at first I'll try to do a little wiggle, like wiggle left, wiggle right, and that's not working. Then we just got to switch it if it doesn't go away. And honestly, it comes and goes. Sometimes like I don't usually get it during doggy, but I get it during missionary. Sometimes in a certain pose, like I'll be having my legs above the head. Some days I can fold like a pretzel. And then some days I can barely get one leg up because I'm getting like this weird side cramp. It feels like when you just ran and drank a bunch of water. It's weird, but it's just because you're literally getting your organs smacked. So don't be afraid of changing it and letting them know, hey, a little uncomfortable. You got to let them know. If you're in any type of pain in the bedroom and you're not trying to do that, move. When you're using your hands in woof woof doggy, don't be afraid of, we've talked about hair pulling, but even more underrated is honestly having them put your hands behind your back, kind of like you're being arrested. Same pose, the hands behind the back, okay? Because it feels really good, because when you have both hands, they can kind of then like interlace and grab both your hands and use that to kind of like make you arch it. So you're almost like, instead of doing a hair pull, they're actually gonna like, when you interlink your fingers behind your back, they onto that, and then they're able to like pretty much like reins on a horse. This sounds insane. I'm comparing a lady to a horse, but reins on a horse when you put your hands behind your back and he then grabs that. He can then make you arch it. So you're going to lift that head up, spine elongated, and then you're going to get a whole lot of sensations because now your spine is activated. Now your arms are behind your back. Now this is where you then go face to pillow because you're like, baby, Where are my arms if he's hitting a doggy, but I don't have anything supporting me? This is where you want to put a pillow right in front of your face, because you're literally going to be like this to the pillow when he's hitting it from doggy, and both your hands are behind your back and you're kind of just like getting squished into the bed. Although it looks weird, it might be uncomfortable, it feels amazing. I'm like, I love it. I love it. I love it. It feels so good. And you're kind of just like smushed into the bed. This is usually I call the makeup remover. When you're doing the hands behind the back doggy, this is the makeup remover, because anything you have on your face is about to get squished into that pillow, bed sheets, whatever you're on. So FYI, if you do have white bed sheets or any nice colors and you have makeup on and then they're hitting it from behind with the hands behind the back, you will be leaving a mess. Trust me. Mascara, eyelashes, I've seen it all. I've done it all. And hands behind the back. And if you're somebody who's like, well, I can't really like interlace my hands or hold it like that myself that long, that is where the handcuffs come to play, okay? I love handcuffs during doggy, and then putting the hands behind the back. And then when they have the hands, they can grab the handcuffs in the middle, and then they like pull you slightly back, and then they're able to like use this to almost like control your hips. So many tips and tricks here. Like literally, you might want to give this episode a second listen, maybe listen to it once just to digest my fast talking, and then a second time to really take the notes, to create a push and pull effect when you're doing doggy. It's such a minor thing you might not think about that creates such a big pleasure. So if a guy is thrusting his hips forward, you want to meet him in the middle and slightly thrust. So you're going to create like this sensation of you kind of being pushed onto him, and he will feel this, and this feels good because it kind of creates like a different push and pull on your kitty cat. So when he goes forward, kind of meet him in the middle, and like then you're kind of smacking it back and forth. When you're in doggy, you don't always just have to be still, or you don't always have to just be like trying to like twerk it. You're so focused on trying to get it to shake. Sometimes just doing a little back and forth is good, just with your hips. I kind of think of just controlling your lower hips, or you're kind of like pushing yourself, wiggling from the knees kind of on the bed. Or if he's going forward, kind of lean forward. And this time you're going to pull away from him. And this looks hot because it kind of, first of all, makes you go a little bit forward, which is going to make your arch look even more lifted. And then he has to kind of thrust forward as you're pulling off of him. It creates a different sensation. So to say that again, we have the forward. So he's going forward. You're going to meet him halfway and actually push backwards. Or you have the pull away, where he goes forward. Okay. He thrusts forward, and then you're going to slightly tilt away from him. So you're pulling away from him, which is going to create like your kitty cat gripping and pulling his skin on his cucumber. It's going to pull it tight forward, and it feels really good. So that's like the different push and pull methods. When you're doing this, ladies, it can get dry. Doggy sometimes gets dry. Do not be afraid to add lube. Lube is always your best friend, no matter what position, no matter what pose. It is never bad. It is always good. If you're ever getting sore in these positions, if your knees are hurting, don't be afraid to put pillows under each knee, to add an extra blanket under your knees, do it on a squishier surface, make modifications. If your arms get tired, put more pillows under your chest. If for any reason you can't go down super low and arch it, don't be afraid of putting a bunch of pillows underneath your front chest. I'll like put 3 pillows on top, where then I'm almost like, you know, kind of more lifted but straight. That way I don't have to hold my weight, because sometimes maybe you're tired that day, maybe you have some type of injury, sports problem, who's to say, whatever, you know, you're working with, you can put a bunch of pillows under your chest during doggy, and this will make it so you're not putting all your pressure onto your wrists, onto your forearms, so you're not like planking the whole time, because pretty much when you're in doggy, ladies, we're planking. So if you don't want to plank it, put a bunch of pillows, like 3 pillows under your chest, depending how fluffy your pillows are, okay? I have very flat pillows. I like a flat pillow. I'm like a frat boy. Fun fact about me, I hate fluffy pillows. I want my paper thin pillow like this, okay? I purposely will like rip open a pillow, take out a bunch of fluff, and then sew it back up, because I hate big pillows. Like I have to travel with my own pillow, because usually hotels have way too fluffy pillows. But I lose myself. Back to it. When you're in doggy, multiple pillows underneath your chest will help you so you're not planking. Now, the visuals of doggy, let's get into it, because there's a lot of ways to visually enhance. Let's talk about it. When you're in doggy, look back at him. Sometimes when men are hitting it in doggy, you kind of just feel like, you know, you like to look at a girl's behind. You're looking at everything. It's hot, but it's also nice once in a while to make some eye contact. Eye contact is intimate. It's hot. Don't be afraid to kind of, you know, twist it around a little bit. Give him a little look and just be like, oh, that's so hot. And just like look at him. And it's not for long, like literally 2 seconds, look at him, turn back, eye contact during any pose. Sometimes you kind of like, when you're watching a film, you'll notice a girl will always look at the camera, and that kind of feels intimate, and that's her looking at the person. But when a girl doesn't look at the camera enough, if you've ever watched a corn video, she doesn't make enough eye contact, it kind of feels less intimate, less spicy. And then you also just feel like you lose the girl. You're almost like losing the attraction to the person because you're not getting that eye contact. Like, we are humans and we need eye contact. So turning to look at them, turning to look at the camera, it's very useful when you're watching this type of stuff, especially when men are so visual. So eye contact is hot. And for you, eye contact is hot. It's intimate. It makes like a connection of like, even if you're doing something really rough, even if they're giving you some very intense back shots, making that quick little eye contact is like, hey, that feels good. I like what you're doing. But it's a really easy thing to just add to the visuals. Next thing, mirrors. Mirrors during doggy are so hot. I have literally in my bed, I have a full length mirror right next to the bed. And this one I love because I can then see, I can turn to the right, to the left, whichever your bed is on. I can turn to the right, see the mirror, and I can see him from behind, thrust in it. When I'm on all doggy, and it looks so freaking hot because for me, ladies, at least what I'm thinking is hot when a guy is behind me is the thrusting. I think watching a man like now, yes, in that pose I can usually kind of see his cucumber, his pink water bottle sliding in and out of me, but a little bit less just because usually, it's kind of being hidden in between the cheeks. So usually it's just though looking at his like stomach and him sweating and the way he like a man looks so hot when they're like gripping your hips and like squeezing your cake, like this is like sounding so raunchy, but yeah, but it's something so hot about it. So putting that mirror, ladies, not only is it hot for him because now he can easily see you taking them shots. He can then see your tatas shaking from the side. He can see all of that, but you can also see him, and men look very hot. Like, it's just something like they're hungry. You see the hunger in a man's eyes when you're taking back shots and you look at yourself in the mirror. You just see him like he's going for it. He's hungry. And something about that is so, so, so hot. I'm like, yes, eat me up, buttercup. Eat me up. But if you want to do that, you can also do the mirror in front of you. Now, in the spicy world, in the corn world, we call this the plow cam. So the plow cam is where you have a mirror in front of you or the camera. Typically, when we're filming spicy stuff, we'll have a camera in front of the face. And this is getting a girl's reaction face, but you're also going to see her tata shaking. You're going to see the thighs shaking. You're going to see him behind you looking really nice. Whoever's giving them back shots is going to look really hot. So don't be afraid also of putting the mirror in front of you while you're taking it. And yes, you will be then looking at yourself face to face. But hey, I don't know about you ladies, but sometimes I can look at myself and be like, damn, I look good right now. And then because I know I look good, or because I see my body looking super hot and sexy, I'm like, this feels even better. Then I'm even more confident and I get out of that insecurity that I'm looking weird or that I'm not doing something right. And then I can just enjoy the pleasure. And then it kind of takes away that that guessing game of like, do I look good right now? Do I not? Sometimes having a mirror in the bedroom helps to erase the guessing game. Everybody loves visuals in the bedroom are such an aphrodisiac. When you're watching yourself take back shots, when you're doing a plow cam, nothing is hotter than seeing your partner's face reacting and they're just like thirstiness for you. It shows you just like, oh, like this man is needing. And of course, with anything, when you're doing doggy, I told you guys I'm dropping tip after tip after tip. So sorry, this is just so good. I love it. Temperature play. Temperature play can be done at all times and any time in the bedroom, but it's not always, I think people always imagine temperature play as putting ice on somebody's, the coochie or the pink water bottle. Sometimes it's temperature play on just the body. So when you're in doggy, I've had a guy do this and it was so hot. He took an ice cube. And when he was hitting it from behind, he took the ice cube and then ran it down my spine. And guys, when I tell you, I got chills all over my body. Like my tatas, the little nips, okay, they got hard, it just gave me chills everywhere. And it just intensified him being inside at the same time with him running the ice cube down my back or kind of around there. You can even, but be careful because, you don't want to be too cold. You can even play with some temperature play when he's giving you back shots, taking the ice cube down your spine, but then taking it to your back door, starfish, rubbing it, doing a little circles around the starfish, but very gently and not like directly on it, kind of on the rim, doing a little ice cube play right there. Feels so good. It's chilly, but it feels good. Or sometimes even just a guy when he runs, like if his hands are warm and he like runs his hand down your spine during back shots or kind of rubs his hand on your cheeks, not slapping it, just rubbing it. It creates like this warming friction sensation that also feels really good. Like that is a form of temperature play. So don't be afraid of recommending to your man, like, hey, do you want to add a little ice cube? Do you want to do a little this? Do you want to rub your hand? It feels super amazing. And if you can, ladies, sometimes depending on your flexibility, you can even then turn back to him, give him a little squeeze on his thigh when you're in that pose doggy. You can kind of run your hand on him, kind of direct his hips. don't be afraid of directing things and telling him what you need and what you want and just doing that, and just kind of enjoying the moment. All right, guys, it's that time of the episode, Q&A time. I hope this helps you feel a little bit more confident and hopefully you learned a lot. I know we put out a lot. Okay, baby, I got really excited writing these notes. I should show you my notebook. It looks insane. It looks like a mad scientist, but I got really into writing these notes. It's such a fun topic. I could, you guys know me. But first question of the day. Hey girl, I really need some advice. Long distance, how do I get freaky? Okay, freaky advice for long distance relationships. Number one, remote controlled toys. You know what I'm talking about. Remote controlled toys. They have fun little toys that then you can put in your underwear that have a remote attached to them that they can control from long distance. They even have little vibes that you can put inside the coochie, inside the kitty cat. They have this really nice one that like it goes inside you and then it has the second part that sticks out like the rabbit and then it rubs on the bean at the same time and it lets him connect to it on his app on the phone and then buzzed from you from long distance. So you guys want to do a long distance FaceTime spicy call. You have one of the toys that he can control with the app. He can use that buzzer on you. You can hold it on the little bean. You can put it inside. And then for him, you can also, they have these fun little remote controlled rings. So it's like a ring that goes over his cucumber and then it vibrates, but you have the delicious app that controls the vibration for him. And then you guys can have some fun play like that. I love it. There are so many fun remote controlled couples toys that you guys can use and test out that feel so amazing. But also, don't be afraid of doing role play on FaceTime. I feel like people think role play is just in person, but role play is honestly even more fun sometimes on FaceTime because you guys can preset it up to be like, okay, I'm gonna pull up. Like, okay, honestly, choose the trope that you want. You can do therapist and patient. You can do online, doctor and patient literally on FaceTime, but choose your theme. And then when you then do the FaceTime, you're like, okay, the second we start this FaceTime, bro, we're going into like action. Like this is scene. I am a doctor. You are my patient right now. So if I'm naughty nurse, you're my patient. And so when I start that FaceTime with my man, I'll be like, okay, we're going to start this and we're going into scene immediately. If you're doing role play on FaceTime, just start it off right away. Like text about it before. And then that way you don't have time to be like embarrassed or be like, oh, is this going to be weird? Or like, okay, when do we start? Do you want to start now? Like, you avoid that. You just know when this FaceTime starts, we're immediately going into character. So I'll be like, hello, doctor. I think I'm feeling sick today. Or I'll be like, if I'm naughty nurse, I'll be like, so I hear someone's come down with a very bad cold and I need to suck away the pain. Like, that's some shit. But like, that's how I'll open the FaceTime. So doing role play on FaceTime is actually easier because you feel like you can get into more of that character. You're like, oh, I'm not embarrassed because it's a FaceTime. Like, if I get embarrassed, I can just hang up on you. So doing FaceTime roleplay is kind of takes away the scariness of your partner laughing or about the, what if I do it wrong? Because it kind of feels like you're already entering the stage when you're recording yourself, when they're not right in front of you. You can kind of do more fun with it. So don't be afraid of doing that. And obviously spicy texting, sending spicy pics throughout the day. I've done some videos on TikTok, my Instagram, about how to send spicy tips, photos and things like that. So you can watch some of those, but sending spicy photos spontaneously, okay, do it spontaneously. Send them photos a little bit when they're at work, kind of warm up because maybe you can't do foreplay when you guys are doing long distance, but you can do it virtually. You can do some virtual foreplay by starting the morning and sending them a little spicy pic. You're at work, run to the bathroom, snap a picture of your bra or your undies or be like, hey, not wearing any today. Just text them that and start the foreplay during the beginning of the day, kind of teasing all day. So by the end of the day, when he's like off work, when you're off work, when you guys got time to talk to each other, you're each like, hey, you've been edging me all day. What's up? And then you guys can do some fun time, whether it's FaceTime, whatever you want to do. But that's some good ways to do it. Foreplay can be started beforehand and kind of getting creative with honestly showing your guys' love because although we're talking about all the physical things you can do and kind of like the visuals, there's also just like showing your love through long distance, sending somebody a DoorDash, sending them a Starbucks or giving them roses or candy, or it doesn't always have to be like buying things. Like honestly, just like mailing them a freaking handwritten note. Can you remember the last time you got written a note in the mail from your long distance lover? Name something freaking hotter, okay? If all the girlies are thirst trapping over Wuthering Heights and all this shit, it shows that the women yearn for long distance love. We yearn for old fashioned love where you write your partner letters of infatuation and of missing and longing. Bring back love letters. Like, please, please, please. I would literally flick my meat to a written love letter. I would literally love that shit. Like women, we are that easy. It is that easy. It doesn't always have to be these expensive things you're buying your girl. Keeping long distance love alive could be easy as that. All right, next one. What are some good vibrators I can use for my first time practicing trying to, oh, okay, if it's your first time, you're trying to have some fun in the bedroom. I like small little things. I love these ones. This little one, it is by Sexology on the Go. This one's really fun because it's lightweight, it's easy, and it has a nice little suction. So it's going to suction on the bean, but also vibrates. You can move it around. It's really easy beginner. And it's also just like petite, small, easy to hide. Another one that I love is a wand. This one also by Sexology on the Go. This one is a fun wand. So wands are just like basic. They're just like this. You hold it and it vibrates. It has different settings. Usually it has like 10 different settings, different vibrations, and you can just move it around. You can do it on the tatas. You can do it on the bean. And a nice thing about this one is usually this one comes with a case. So it's very easy to put away, to hide, to travel with. And this one as well, I like these little slender ones for doing some, penetration, P in the V, these ones I love too, these little slender ones. This one is by 𝙄𝙤𝙠. You guys know I love this brand. This one can also go inside really easily because of the shape. So you can slip it inside of yourself and it has different vibration settings. It's waterproof. You can do it in the shower, in the tub, which is usually a great place for beginners to start when you want to be private. Maybe you live with other people. And as well, it can also just be held though on the outside, rubbing on the bean. And usually if it is your first time using toys, I recommend you just start with, kind of holding it on the bean, just rubbing it around your entire coochie area to see what feels good. Don't be afraid of using it on the lips, on different parts, holding it on the entryway. Next question. How do I tell a guy that I want to hang out with him again, but I don't want to sound desperate or clingy? I would kind of act like it's already like you already have a lot of fun stuff in your life. Act like you already have fun plans and activities, and he's just kind of going to get thrown into it if he wants to. So say you have like a last minute invitation. I love this one being like, hey, I just got these tickets, or hey, I just saw this thing. Do you want to come with me? Hey, I might be going to this little thing. Do you want to swing by with me? I just got last minute. It kind of gives like a, hey, by the way, you might like this. Like, oh, hey, I know you love basketball. I'm actually going to a game tonight and have some friends and an extra ticket. Do you want to come? Because it's kind of a low effort. Like he doesn't really have to feel like pressured into it because it was last minute. He can have an excuse and that's understandable. It's kind of like a low stakes way to reach out to him. Next thing, instead of having to ask like, okay, so when are we hanging out again? And singing like clingy, like, hey, hi. Instead, I like to mention like, hey, I saw that sushi place we talked about. I really want to go. I saw that ice cream shop. I saw they just opened that new one that we both talked about wanting to try. Yeah, that one. Should we go this weekend? Because they open on Saturday. Kind of giving out those like, hey, we mentioned something. So hopefully you guys talked about something, anything during your first date or, interaction that you can then bring up and do later together. The last thing that's so easy nowadays is to send him like a TikTok, a reel, whatever it is, send him something and then be like, oh my God, yeah, it's so funny. Wait, do you remember what I was telling you about blah, blah, blah? This is like, do you remember? This is leaving like a hook. Pretty much it's like he has you're leaving him on a cliffhanger of something you talked about last time. So say you had a stressful test, maybe you had some big thing coming up at work, some, presentation, or maybe some, it could be a family event or drama. You could be like, OMG, hey, do you remember how I was telling you about that job? Like if I was going to get it or not? Oh my God, I need to tell you what happened. When are you free? I need to catch you up. And it kind of creates that like, hey, here's a little cliffhanger to remember this conversation. And then he can pick it up and then he'll pick up the cue like, oh my God, yeah, I definitely need to hear about that. I'm free this Friday. Then it kind of leaves the ball in his court to be like, oh my gosh, I do want to hear more about this. And he kind of gets it like, okay, she wants to hang out again. But here's the thing, ladies, if you have a date and then you want to reach out to them again, you reach out to them once, whether it's you're going to be like, hey, do you want to go try this place we talked about? Or hey, I need to tell you the rest of the story, whatever method you're using, it's one and done. Once you give him the direction or the chance to pick it up and then make the move to hang out again, if he does something like, oh yeah, I'll let you know, or yeah, we'll see. It is in his court now. You don't double text. You don't then text again being like, hey, what about this? Hey, are you free this day? Like, no, now it's his turn to reciprocate because if he doesn't want to actively make plans to see you again, he doesn't want to. It's that clear and simple. Unless you do the last minute thing. We're like, hey, last minute, got tickets. Do you want to come? And he's like, shoot, I'm literally working tonight, but I'd love to blah, blah, blah. Or he's like, oh, I can't tonight. I have work, but maybe another day. Then you could do it if you did invite him last minute. But besides that, usually once it's in his court, it is his turn to then figure out how to see you again. If he wants to, he will. It's that easy and simple. And that's an easy way, hopefully, to help you reach out to him without seeming too clingy and playing, cool girl. Next one, my man wants me to be more dominant, but my instinct is to be gentle. He wants me to be mean, slap him, control him. I want to, but how? Okay, honestly, listen to, I think I had like not I think it was last week's episode when I was like, you need to be more mean to a man. You need to bully a man. Yes. It was like an episode called like, you need to bully him more and why you should be and how it actually helps your pleasure because being dominant is fun. More assertiveness in the bedroom leads to better O's. Telling what you want, taking what you want, it can be hot. And I know usually we get stuck in like this kind of submissive, we're kind of taking during the bedroom. It's fun to play around with the other side. It's fun to experience control. And even though you might not be good at it, you can perfect it and get better. It is a skill. It is something you get better at. It's just like one of those things if you've never put yourself kind of in a leadership position, I might say. Like I know we're in the bedroom and you want to dominate him, but it's just like in the workplace where you have to tell people what to do or you have to control a group and be a leader. It's you step into it and you get better at it. Be controlling and be really simple. To be more dominant in the bedroom, tell him what you want. Like, I want you to eat my kitty right now until I tell you to stop. Or I want you to do this hard until I tell you to stop. Okay. Do not stop pounding me until I say so. Things like that. It's not even being like, you little nasty pay piggy, I'm going to do this and this. Like, it's not some crazy, like, dirty talk. It's literally just giving clear directions, using a firmer voice. So listen to the episode on how to bully him. I really give some good tips on that. Thank you guys. I hope you guys really get some good cracking this week. I really hope this helped you. And again, remember, you can do all this stuff with solo pleasure. And when you're in doggy, always use toys, always add this type of fun stuff into it. Toys are for everything. And I will catch you guys next Sunday for another episode of Girl Core.